This is Killer Innovations, a show about ideas, creativity, and how you can innovate. Welcome to the Innovator's Garage, where you learn to create your next game-changing killer innovation.
Welcome to Killer Innovations. I'm your host, Phil McKinney. We are here at Consumer Electronics Show 2020. We are in the mobile studio. This week, we are discovering and searching out and trying to find interesting innovators who are breaking new ground or trying new models on developing innovations and bringing those to market. And we came across a company here at CES that we think has kind of an interesting story and an interesting model of how do you go from a spark of an idea to actually turn it into an entities and structure that allows for success. So a guest today is Ivo, you're the Chief Innovation Officer,
yes,
right? For E-Novia from Italy. And you guys are showing at the Sands?
No, we are at the Las Vegas Convention Center here at South Hall 2.
South Hall 2. Oh, so you made it all the way over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing here in Las Vegas how everybody is so scattered. So why don't you give us a little bit of background on yourself and on your company?
Yeah, basically, I'm one of the founders of E-Novia. As you said, I'm the Chief Innovation Officer. My background in engineering, I got my master in Polytechnic in Milano and then my PhD. And then during this period, we decided to start E-Novia. Why? Because we would like to bring robotics and AI from the Italian ecosystem to become real product, innovative product in the ecosystem and especially in the fields in which Italy is well recognized. So we got all the know-how that in Italy it's generated thanks to the automotive industry, the machinery industry, the manufacturing industry.
Right.
It brings to a lot of robotics and AI in the universities. But the problem is that you have to work locally with these universities. You have to find a way in which you can collaborate. And then once you have this collaboration, you can establish a relation to create idea. That's a big difference of our model that we call Enterprise Factory. So basically what we do in our Enterprise Factory is to create the idea together with the research group. Once the idea has the value to
with the research group being the university?
In the universities.
Okay,
right.
so it's always in partnership with the universities?
Not always, but let me say 50% of the time, our enterprises that are participated or controlled by us, that flow in our model, basically they come from as a spin-off from universities. And basically what we do, we establish this relation, then we would find something that we can think that may have success in the market, then we start a process of investment. Then we transform the idea in a prototype, a product, an enterprise. And our enterprise factory has to be the fastest as possible in terms of process and the highest as possible in terms of value. Every step, every change of status has to generate, let me say, also a step in the value. And that's what we have created. Up to now, we have 30 enterprises in our group.
13?
13.
Yeah, wow. 30?
Zero. Yeah.
Now, how long have you been around?
Just 5 years. We are really, let me say, a young company, but we are running fast. In fact, we have also a plan, a process. We are in a process of IPO.
Okay.
So we are now running because we wanted to we wanted to get the IPO in 2020, 2021.
Is that primarily to give you access to the capital markets to fund and grow faster, or?
I mean, it's of course a matter of capital because in Italy there is the perception that to create a new company, a startup, you get a grant of 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 euros, and that's it, and then the guys have to do everything alone. But it simply doesn't work like this. You need to invest a lot in terms of capital, in terms of engineering, especially if you work in robotics. You have a lot of work that has to be done in the beginning to the risk, the opportunity, from the idea to something that really works.
Right.
And you need a lot of capital too. So to get access to this capital, we think that the exchange market is the best way to do it. Also to qualify our model because it's so unique that we want to have, let me say, a market evaluation of our initiative. And we think that this is the right way to do it.
Okay. So you've already stood up 30 of these, and what's the scale or size of these? Are these all like still really small, or do you start to see some scale?
I can tell you that in average they are 2.5 old. So basically you can find something that is well developed, like BluBrake, that it's a company that you will see It's a system for producing an electronic ABS for bicycle, a safety bubble for the cyclist, and companies that are more in the early stage, like Wahu, that works in the fashion industry, create the first active sole for managing the grip while you are walking. So in average, let me say that E-Novia now has internally 130 engineers and designers. So we have also a big team of designers in our company. You can see it also at our booth. And overall, the entire group is 250.
Let's put it this way. I'll show my biases. You would expect that a company based in Milan would have a lot of designers.
Yeah, that's expected at least. That's expected. But it's not so easy to apply design to robotics. So I mean, but it's crucial because robot is always perceived like something that will steal a job of a worker or something like this. Design is fundamental. It's fundamental to, let me say, fill this gap so that you are able to create an HMI, something that is more interesting for the user, something that will not scare the user. So this is where our designers are working, the service design, that it's fundamental. Everything is moving to service, but what does it mean, service with robotics? So you have to work on this, and it's really new. We are creating something that it's really astonishing.
So if you looked across all of the enterprises, is the robotics the constant across all of them? Is that kind of everything robotic applied to a variety
it's
of
the basic know-how.
Right.
So we do not say it as robotic. We say that it's sensing, it's reasoning, and it's acting, because you need technology for sensors to detect, to digitalize the information. Okay, you need reasoning, algorithm, artificial intelligence, of course, and you need actuation. Sometimes actuation may be a pure robot. Sometimes the actuation is to provide information to a human so that he can have a safer way of using something. So we create like a human in the loop, if you want to say, in this way, and a loop between a robot, an artificial intelligence system, and a human intelligence system.
Right. So you're getting ready to IPO. How have you been funded so far?
So far we have been invested by Italian big family in the manufacturing industry. Like Brembo, for example, like representative of families and others. But now we opened in this process of IPO our fundraising also to, let me say, international corporate VC, and we are working very well on this side, especially because we have created a lot of international relations in the last 5 years. We already have a subsidiary here in the US, in San Francisco. We are going to have a new office in Japan, because Japan is really similar to Italy in terms of ecosystem. We are investing there to create, let me say, like an hub, calling this way, something that works exactly as our enterprise factory in Italy. And doing this, we are, let me say, getting the attention from Japanese corporate. We are working. We're really happy to get this interest from them.
So, across the 30 entities, who's the customer? Are you selling into the ecosystem of people who utilize robots, or hoping total new entrants into segments?
That's a really good question. So, I mean, sometime you already have the customer. So if you work, for example, in the ultralight mobility industry, that today means bicycle, the customers are the bicycle manufacturer. But if you work in the last mile delivery drone, we have droids for last mile and autonomous droids for last mile. The market, it's not so easy to be defined. I mean, the market is who is using the droid in his logistic operation, or is the final customer that will receive the droid as a delivery system for getting his parcel. So, I mean, at the end, the consumer will pay for the service, but you have to create something that give a value also in the logistic process.
So, but let's take last mile, because actually I was involved. I hosted. I don't know if you're familiar with Dean Kamen, the inventor of the Segway, and he's got a partnership with FedEx. So they took the base of what was his iBot wheelchair, which allowed for the two-wheel wheelchair, which led to the Segway, to do last mile logistics, but in partnership with FedEx. So in that case, FedEx is traditional logistics trying to apply robotics of some kind, right? But then you've also got like food delivery that's trying to use robotics. So with both of, with theoretically, would FedEx then be a customer in the food delivery?
That's right. Both of them may be the customer. The point is that basically they have a totally different logistic operation. So FedEx do not have issues related to the thermal chain, for example.
Right.
So you don't have to care about how warm will be the parcel when it will arrive to the final destination.
Right.
While in the food delivery, you have to care about this, of course.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have
but
a
also
lot
in
of
the other
claims.
logistics, you got to worry about value. If you're putting a high value
or
item
low
in
value,
there.
exactly.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're actually going to get an opportunity to talk to some of the leaders of some of these enterprises that E-Novia has created and stood up, and hear their story individually about how they're applying this model to solve very specific problems. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick, short commercial break. Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation, talking with the companies, organizations, enterprises as part of E-Novia. We have Fabio from BluBrake, which is one of the companies, enterprises that have come out of this new kind of business model. So, one, introduce yourself and introduce BluBrake.
Exactly. So, hello to everybody. My name is Fabio, and I got a PhD in engineering in Milan, working on ABS for motorcycles and brake-by-wire for Formula One technology, Formula One market. And after this experience, we saw in the bicycle industry, in particular in the e-bike industry that was growing a lot, a possibility to have a business there because the safety problem is still there. And so we decided, together with some people from university and together with E-Novia, which is our co-founder, to spin off this idea and to create BluBrake. And so BluBrake develops and produces ABS for e-bikes, so anti-lock brake system for e-bikes.
Okay, yeah, my familiarity with anti-lock brakes is what happens in my car.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think of a bike needing ABS systems. What am I missing? Why is it needed in a bike use case?
Yeah, that's because basically the e-bike market is growing a lot, and e-bike is changing. The way we use e-bike is changing from purely fun, done by pure cyclists, to, for example, commuting, or using the bike from people that never used the bike before, and maybe they don't even know which one is the front brake, which one is the rear brake.
True.
And then it's electric, and so they can go wherever they want, even uphill, even the mountain. And unfortunately, data said that in Europe, but also in the US, the accidents on e-bikes is growing a lot, and more than half of them happen during braking.
Really? So is it the situation where the bike, because of its ability to be propelled, in the case of an e-bike, that it gets itself into a situation that it can control? Or is it simply because e-bikes can get to a certain speed? What's the condition that causes such high risk?
Usually the condition is panic brakes. So when happens something that you do not foresee, and you just...
Right, so you gotta do a sudden, you're just clamping down to try to brake.
And what happens is that if you are on slippery roads, you lock the front wheel without ABS, of course. Or if you are on asphalt, so like not slippery road, you fall over the handlebar. Because on e-bikes, the rider is the measure weight of the vehicle.
Right.
The bike weighs around 20 kilos. So if you do a panic brake, you fall over the handlebar, basically.
Interesting.
And even because e-bikes have a different consumer than a standard bike. So usually a standard bike is ridden by somebody that is experienced, somebody that is a cyclist, and maybe has been a complete life that is riding the bicycle. E-bikes is ridden by whoever. Whoever needs to move from point A to point B.
Well, like in San Francisco, you can basically go and swipe your credit card at any corner and hop on an e-bike.
Yeah, and also for bike sharing ABS, we are talking with the many e-bike sharing providers, because safety for transportation in general is a must.
So is your product available? Are bike manufacturers deploying those today?
Yeah, as we speak. Yeah.
Okay.
It's available in Europe.
Okay.
Not yet in US, but we are working on it.
Is there a standard or legal requirement, or is this, just totally you guys, because of your experience of having worked on the automotive side, basically just transferring that expertise to bicycling?
Yeah,
no, e-bike.
There is no standard.
Right.
We are following the automotive standard in terms of functional safety, so to
right.
make a product safe in every possible condition.
Right.
But there is no specific standard for the e-bike market.
Okay. And I'm assuming that this is going to drive an incremental cost to the e-bike, right? Because I got standard brakes, now I'm putting in ABS. And knowing how sensitive some of these markets can be, what does that incremental look like? Is it a 10% increase, a 20% increase, a 5% increase?
It depends on the e-bike price, of course.
Right.
In terms of percentage, our retail suggested price is around $500. So
for the
plus. So if you consider the price of the bike,
right,
without ABS, you add $500 and you get the ABS.
Okay, so it's an additional $500 to get the ABS.
Yes.
And what's been the reaction from the marketplace for that?
Well, so far it was a good reaction because our target market is the high-end market.
Correct.
So where the additional price is around 15%, 10% of the complete e-bike.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Because if you're $500 on a $100 bike, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If you're $500 on a $2,500 bike, it's a different issue.
Yeah, that's not the target market. The low-end bikes are not our target.
Right. Exactly. And so, are there others out there doing this, or is this something that you're in a unique position?
Well, it's a very new product, but it's a hot topic, especially in Europe, but I guess also here in the US. We have one competitor, which is Bosch, which is well known in the automotive industry for ABS for cars and motorcycles, and they are doing the same, pretty much the same. But our product is a little bit different in terms of product fitting with the bike.
Okay, and so you've got this product. It's now getting some traction. Here's the next question: what's next?
Well, next is scaling up. So now we have 2 customers in Europe.
Okay.
Next year we will produce around 10,000 pieces. So we are not we kind of exit the startup phase.
Right.
So we are in the scale up phase. So we need to grow. We are more than 25 engineers.
Okay.
So we need to grow globally, and the US for sure is our next market.
Okay, and that scaling then includes expanding beyond the e-bike market. I don't know what's the market beyond e-bikes for this product, or
well, it's could be, for example, whatever it's vehicle in general. So it could be scooters,
right?
Could be motorcycles, or
could
be even cars. Even the automotive industry is changing a lot.
Right.
And the brake industry, until some years ago, it was standard brake, hydraulic brake, so pure mechanical brakes.
Right.
Now brakes needs to become mechatronics, so needs to become the electronic that control the brake.
Oh, interesting.
We have all the know-how to develop something like that.
Interesting. So there's plenty of market opportunities, not just a one-time. You always worry about a one application, innovation, right? That's only applied to one place. So we're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue having conversations with other parts or other companies that have been part of E-Novia that are standing up and using technologies, innovations, robotics to go after new and interesting markets. Fabio, thank you for taking the time for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back after this quick, short commercial break. Welcome back. We're continuing our conversations with regards to these enterprises that are spun off from E-Novia from Milan, Italy. In the chair now is Roberto from Smart Robots. So first of all, introduce yourself and then give us a little bit about Smart Robots.
Sure, thank you. Hello, everyone. I've done my PhD in robotics, Politecnico di Milano,
And after my PhD was in robotics in one of the most important groups of collaborative robots. And that is the main topic that we received also a lot of funds from European Commission to develop this kind of word, collaborative robotics. And after my PhD, we started Smart Robots, this company with E-Novia and other two professors of Polytechnic di Milano, to bring on the market our technology in order to make the human in the center of production process.
Okay. So this is human in the loop then.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And when you say collaborative robots, describe what you mean. Because it's a term that I think sometimes gets misunderstood.
Perfect, because also thanks for the question, because in smart robots also it's even larger, the meaning that we give to this meaning.
Right.
Because for smart robots, we put the human in the center of the factory, of the manufacturing process. That because philosophy of manufacturing is changing. There are 10, 5, 15 years from now that my philosophy is changing. The fact that processes needs the flexibility and adaptability of humans, but company has to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need is to enhance humans in the factory, and exactly what we do in smart robots. Smart robots is a perception intelligent device that support humans in factories with two main strategies, two main configuration. One configuration is to guide human. There is no robots in for that. I was saying that is even larger than the definition. We guide humans during manual operations. Even a lot of application manual operations, as you can imagine, to to eliminate the errors of the human. So we understand what human is doing, and such that we can prevent errors just by giving a feedback, really different feedback to the human. And then this is the other solution that I was mentioning, that is applying a robot with our vision, with our intelligence, to be a co-worker of the human, such that we can double the productivity of the human. So these are the two main goals: quality and productivity.
So productivity one, I get. I think humans would support that. The quality, though, how do you get it so that the human does not perceive that the robot is looking over their shoulder and slapping their hand when they do something wrong, right? Because part of this is how do you make it so that humans accept robots as a tool, not as a negative feedback loop?
It's a really good question, because acceptance of the humans, of the technology, it's a really has a longer history, right? And
it's also been the negative against robots, right? Because it's the fear that's taking my job,
exactly.
And I'm going to eventually be replaced.
And it's a topic. It's a topic.
Right.
In fact, there is two main strategies. That is a step-by-step process, such that you introduce robot with humans in the factory, step by step, with the first use case in which also the final operator is starting to use the robot and starting to get acquaintance of gets to perceive the robot as a colleague.
Right.
And that's the one point. And that also include the operator in the collaborative process in the definition of the station itself.
Right.
Because involving the operator is fundamental to have the acceptance of not only the robots, but also our system. Because I was saying the first configuration of quality control is not a real robot. It's just a system that is checking this everything is functioning correctly and helping the human.
Right.
So that's his perception. Is helping the human, or is just slapping in the face?
Right.
It's checking, and so is helping the human.
So for the human, then it's really saying, okay, I've done this. Is it correct? Did I miss something? And they go, yeah, you're good, and they're confident they know they're done and they can move along, whatever it is they're doing. So what are some of the use cases? Where are these being applied today?
Sure, there is a lot of interest in different sectors of manufacturing, because it's really general. One really good case is in white goods producer. So washing machines and something similar because they're really similar processes. And so here assembly lines needs operator for flexibility, adaptability, and manual skills, but they need to have a digital assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And another process is automotive, really good example. Automotive needs certification of human activities, but also competitiveness. It's really a big topic.
Right.
And so both solutions are really good use on that.
So in those cases, the end customer is the auto manufacturer or the white goods manufacturer. How are they perceiving these robots? What's the objective? I mean, is it, obviously productivity is an easy one, right? So rather than doing one washing machine, a team with a robot can do 2 washing machines, right? Is it something as simple as that? Or is there some other objective, or is it simple, straight kind of return on investment?
Yeah, it relates to the change of manufacturing. It's not only productivity,
right,
and not only efficiency. The other main objective is quality. So the errors and cost of errors, it's okay. But then manufacturing is changing, and they need adaptability, flexibility, and the big topic of mass customization.
Right.
Every single washing machine, you don't even imagine the number of washing machines that you can sell in terms of different products.
Different
features and everything. Every single product.
Not to mention color.
Yeah, exactly. Is experiencing the mass customization process, and it needs flexibility of the process itself.
Okay.
And flexibility needs also flexible process. And so humans can provide this, and system that adapt humans is the key factor.
Yeah, because if you have a fully robotic, like the traditional auto manufacturing, like in Detroit, it's very little human, primarily robotics. And then every time they have to retool for a new design of a car, they have to shut down for a year before they're ready to be able to take on a new automobile. Right?
Complete automation is a kind of old approach.
Right.
Now human is coming back in the center of manufacturing.
So how big is Smart Robots?
Yes, we have 6 persons, 4 on technical team and 2 in business development, sales and marketing team. But as you mentioned before, as you said before, we are in the E-Novia group.
Right.
So a lot of activities, we get the easy and fast access to the resources of E-Novia for a lot of different activities. That is from engineering part that maybe is not core of Smart Robots, design parts, legal, administration, a lot of supporting activities that make our processes much more fast.
Right. And so in the case, so you've got these first 2, the quality control and productivity. What's next?
Yes, you are touching a really big point, because we have a very big surprise of Smart Robots products in 1 year and a half from now, and it's related to safety.
Okay.
Because safety, it's a really hot topic.
Safety in the manufacturing process?
Safety in manufacturing process, yes. Because humans, to have some particular tools, some particular machines, they need also to be safe, obviously.
Right.
And there are tools that are already available, as the one we are selling right now, that can be used as they are. But there are a lot of conditions in which you need additional tool to make them safe, to be really strict approach with humans.
Right.
And that's this product that we are working on, and will be ready in 1 hour from now.
Yeah, well, it's interesting from the standpoint of the safety piece, because the people who are anti-robots are really good about pointing out where there's potential human-robot interactions, and sometimes it doesn't work out all that well. So, hey, Roberto, thanks for taking the time, being with me today, and talking about Smart Robots. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and we're going to have another conversation with another part of the E-Novia group and hear what they're doing. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Welcome back. We've got taking a look at another one of the Innovating Group's companies, enterprises, I guess, as you guys call them. How do you pronounce it? Is it Wahu?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Wahu's the name of this group. Product is actually here in front of me, and I don't think I could explain those products. So we have Patricia here to describe what it is on this product. It's kind of a tennis shoe that changes.
Yeah,
Right? So
exactly.
introduce yourself and then describe the product.
Okay. So nice to meet you. I'm Patricia, and I'm a biomedical engineer. And right after my master degree, I went to E-Novia, and I started to work there. After 2 years of innovative projects, I decided to start this particular project in the fashion market. That, as you know, in Italy is one of the best market actually. But this particular project is not actually just a fashion project. It is a fashion tech enterprise actually that is developing this particular sole that is able to change actively and automatically its morphology based on the kind of terrain there is under it. So actually the sole is able to understand and detect the characteristic of the environment and of the terrain of the ground, and based on that it is able to automatically adapt the grip and the cushioning in order to create a sort of traction control for walking.
So here's the question, right? Because I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this product.
Yeah.
Looks like a traditional, like a tennis shoe. The sole on it has this little sections on the bottom of the sole that then I'm assuming would either be pushed out or pulled in depending on the terrain. What's the objective? Is the objective to keep so the person feels like they're on a consistent kind of a terrain? You know, why having a sole change? Why is that important?
Because if you think about your shoes, usually you take different kind of shoes based on the activity you are going to do. Like for example, if you want to go hiking or if you want to play golf, you have to use particular shoes. With this kind of technology, our aim is to use the same shoes, but having something that actively change, gives you the possibility to be adaptable to different situations and to different environmental conditions also. So, for example, if outside starts like snowing,
Right.
you can activate your shoes. Instead, it is able to activate by itself actually, so that you are not going to sleep. So that's the aim actually. And in fact, we are running this year the first market test with an Italian fashion brand to create the first multi-purpose sneaker.
Well, and that's interesting. So, I mean, I can get away with carrying only one shoe and having it morph. I don't think my wife would do that.
Yeah, but it will be really beautiful also. So.
Well, I would expect nothing less coming from Milan, right? I used to spend a lot of time in Milan, by the way. So from that standpoint, then literally you have because like you said, you have a shoe that either has the wide base if you're a runner, you've got different treading on the bottom if you're gonna go off on trails or into the mountains, and then you got different if you want snow or ice. But you said that it would auto detect. It automatically makes the change. How does it do that? How does it know what's underneath it?
Yeah, because inside the sole there is an electronic board that is controlling the actuators that are micro pumps that push the air inside the chambers and inside the cleats to make them comes out from the sole. And inside the board there are also sensors that can take data from the environment and from the dynamic state of the user Based on that, the board is able to estimate which is the best situation to activate the actuators, and so to activate the soul. Also, based on this data that we can take from the environment and from the dynamics of the user, we can create a sort of digital twin of the sole of the shoe itself. So we can digitalize also the product so that we can create innovative services both for the user and for the brand that is developing the shoe itself.
Well, that's interesting because when you think about a shoe brand and they sell the shoe, that's kind of the end of the knowledge they have on how someone uses the shoe. They sold it, you walk out, and that's the end of it. Now you're providing also a loop back to the brand, so they can see how people are using the shoe. That's got to be really interesting for the brands.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, this is one of the other things that is really important of this product, because we are offering a core functionality that is the soul changing functionality, but also a lot of innovative services. Also, for the brand is super useful, but also think about of the user that can have a product that can adjust to himself and that can provide different services. Like, for example, we are able to create the digital print of the fingerprint, of the person, because I don't know if you know, but everyone have a unique way of walking. So, for example, we are able to understand univocally that that person that is walking on our sole is actually that person.
Patricia, thank you very much for joining us here today. As we wrap up the show, we will include links in the show notes over at killerinnovations.com for you to find out more information about E-Novia and the group, and also each of these companies. So if you're interested in checking them out and tracking what they're up to, we'll give you all the proper links so you can keep up. Thank you very much for all of you for being here in the studio today. And with that, we'll talk to you all next week here on Killer Innovations. Bye-bye.